My name is Jim, and we're going to be taking a look at this Bosch laser level today on
Kilimanjaro.
This is the Bosch GLL2-20 laser level. So this comes in two different versions. I got the one with the hard case that comes with a couple extra accessories. There's one that's a little bit cheaper that is in a soft case and that is missing a couple of the accessories. I'll talk about what those are at the end of the video. Not super important. So this laser level is a cross type. So that means it actually has two different lasers, one that projects a flat plane laser and that'll put a nice ring around the room, and the other that projects a vertical laser, and of course those cross where they intersect. Turn the laser on, it's got a nice big power switch on the side. It's a nice physical switch, it's not just a membrane button or anything. You slide it over with a nice ka-chunk. It turns both the horizontal and the vertical laser on, and after a second they level out, give you a nice line. Now you can see as I put it onto the lathe here, after that levels out, it gives you a nice cross, and you can aim that wherever you want. Now this will make that perfectly vertical and perfectly plumb as long as it's close on whatever surface it's resting on. So you can see as I tilt it too much, it flickers and then turns off as it gets to be tilted too much, and that's in any direction. And it turns both lasers off when that happens. Now you can override that if you push the lock button on the side. When you push the lock button, it will then keep those lasers on no matter what orientation it gets turned on. So you can then, if you want to put it at a weird angle, or sometimes if I don't have a stand that's at the right height, but I know where I want that laser to be and I know how to keep it myself, I'll tilt it up so that it is pointed at the right height, even though I'll have to keep it level myself, and it won't automatically level it. It's also got another mode, so you can turn off one or the other lines. So first you can turn off the vertical, then you can turn off the horizontal, and then both go off. It doesn't remember that when you turn it back on and off. Now you may have noticed one of the big problems with this is that it's not super bright. It's very bright in here for the filming, so it's not particularly obvious, but it's reasonably bright. It's indoors, it's going to be perfectly easy to see as long as the sun isn't shining like through a window onto the surface you're working on. It's not really bright enough to use outdoors, but indoors I've never had a problem being able to see it. Sometimes it can be a little bit faint, you have to look pretty closely for it. Just depends on how much light is in the room. If the room is fairly dim, shows up no problem whatsoever. So it just kind of depends. If you're going to be working outdoors all the time though, this one definitely isn't bright enough for you. The accessories that come with the hard case version, the first is this little red target here. So it's got a little bullseye on it and it's got some graduations on the side, but most importantly it's got this little reflective strip that runs down the center of it. So I'm not sure if it shows up on camera, but you can usually see that laser on this little reflective strip. Even if it's very sunny out, if there's a lot of light on it, you can usually still see the line on that little reflective strip very easily. So the graduations aren't super useful. It gives you kind of a rough idea. They're in metric, but the line doesn't go over them. It doesn't show up on the red plastic. I'm not sure why they made this out of red plastic for that very reason. It seems kind of silly. Why wouldn't you want that to, the laser to extend over to those? The other thing that kind of confused me about this when I first got it was I kept trying to set it up like that, and you can't adjust this foot any farther down than that. So you can't actually, get it to be nice and vertical. But it's actually meant to be used upside down, or at least I think it's upside down. It's meant to be used like that, and then you can adjust it, almost perfectly vertical there, or if you want a little more stability, you can pull it out a little bit. It's also got two magnets on the bottom here, so if you've got a metallic surface, you can just stick it on there. Not super handy as well. Now the next thing that the laser comes with is this little stand here. Now it's got a 1/4-20 bolt on the bottom, which matches up with the 1/4-20 threads on the bottom of the laser. That's a standard for any sort of tripod. So if you've got a photography tripod or any sort of industrial surveying tripod, it usually has a 1/4-20 bolt on the bottom, and so you can mount this on top of that. Now this isn't particularly useful by itself. It's got a couple feet that stick out that can kind of give you a little bit more stability, but what's particularly useful about it is that it has two magnets on the back. So you mount this on here, and then you can stick this against a steel column, a steel stud, or a duct or something like that, and hang your laser off that. That can be pretty handy. The other thing that this goes with is this other accessory here, and this is only available with the hard case version, or you can get it separately if you already have this laser. This is really designed for hanging drop ceiling. And the way this works is you put up your first rail on of the drop ceiling, and then you can clip this onto that rail, and this will hold it off the wall. And then this sticks on the side, and it's got a little adjustment screw here, so with your laser mounted there, you can adjust it up and down, and then you stick this onto your next piece of drop ceiling, and you can see if it's at the right height and make sure that all your different pieces of ceiling are all at the same height. So this laser level uses 4 AA batteries, which last a very long time. I think I've only replaced them once or twice in the years that I've had this laser. I find that it works very well as long as you're indoors. Outdoors, like I said, it's not bright enough, but indoors, super bright. The ability to lock it and be able to adjust it to different angles is very handy. I liked getting the hard case version just because I really wanted the protection from the extra case here. These are a little fragile. I was a little worried that if I just had the soft case, at some point I'd drop a tool on it or something and would end up breaking it. So I wanted the harder case for the protection there. If you aren't concerned about that, you can save, I think it's about $40 if you get the soft case version, is less than this version. The extra accessories, I don't find them super useful, but of course if you're doing drop ceilings or have some other use for that accessory, that's going to be a lot handier. All in all, I really like the laser. I do wish it was brighter. That's really the only downside to it though. Thanks for watching.